privilege to be here. Is this thing working? Everybody can hear? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Good. Some indication of actually being present would be cool. First, I love this presentation. For most of you, when you hear a keynote, it's going to be about success. Right? Everybody loves to talk about success. How I became successful. How much I made when I became successful. What I did to become successful. Cool stuff. We all love it. We embrace success. You know what we don't embrace? Failure. Let me give you my perspective. You will not be successful unless you fail. You must fail over and over again and recover from failure before you can be a success. Now, I know people don't like to hear that because we love that instant gratification about if I just do one thing. By the way, you look it up on how to become successful. Look it up on Google. There are formulas for you to follow. Bullshit. You know why? The formula only works until you hit a setback. Winston Churchill statement about success was, you become successful when you stagger from failure to failure without a loss of enthusiasm. See, that's the deal. So what we're going to talk about, by the way, just so you know, this is normally a 4-hour workshop. I see people looking like, oh, what? Sir, they only gave you 10 minutes. You've been saved. So we'll see if I can work the projector. By the way, one of my actions is technology will screw you every chance it gets. So if it doesn't work, you're just going to get the unfiltered. If it does work, you'll get a PowerPoint. Why should you listen to me? Every speaker, when they're doing a PowerPoint, puts what I call the complimentary slide in to convince you that I know what I'm talking about. We don't have time for me to continue to tell you how great I am. But I will tell you one thing. I'm not a coach. I'm a performance coach. Big difference. I'm not a life coach. Thank God. If I were a life coach and you came to me and you said, my cat has cancer, what should I do? I would tell you, take it to the vet, spend $3,000, get it chemo, bring it home, hug it, keep it alive. It's family pet time. As a performance coach, you know what I say? Kill it. Oh my God, the cat lovers are like, whoa. No. Kill the cat. Why? Go to the Humane Society, get another one. Lots of cats. That's performance. In my job as a performance coach, I am tasked with making those people in my program better. Better at their jobs, better performers, better human beings if possible. That requires that we talk a lot about goal setting. How many in here set their goals for 2024? Few people? The rest of you just randomly going through 2024 hoping you hit a measurement? Are you kidding me? If you haven't set a goal, by the time we're finished today, you should set one. It gives you focus. It permits you to put together an action plan. Once you've got an action plan, you start moving towards the goal. It's required that we have goals. The problem with goals is often we have setbacks. And those setbacks, unfortunately, are looked at as failures. I would suggest to you that a temporary setback that occurs while you're trying to achieve a goal is all about making progress towards getting to that goal. All right? Once again, we'll deal with technology. Interesting thing about goal setting and goal achieving is there is no choice about failing. Everybody fails. Again, that's not something that most people like to hear, that you're going to fail. And the two proverbs that I have, if your man plans and God laughs, is an example of why that's true. So much of what controls our everyday life and our goal achieving is beyond our control. For you that are in the landscape green industry, it's the weather, it's the economy, it's the competition, it's labor. All of those things are outside your control. That's why, even though you should have a plan, you have to recognize that the uncontrollables will dictate how hard it's going to be for you to reach your goal. I like the second one better, by the way. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. That punch in the mouth. How many of you have already got your punch for this year? How many of you started off thinking, I know what 2024 is going to look like for me and my company, for me and my personal goals. I know what I'm going to achieve, and for those who have a plan, fantastic, here's how I'm going to do it. How many people in here have already been punched in the mouth at the end of the first quarter? Few people? Absolutely. Did you like it? No. I guarantee you, anybody got punched in the mouth by Mike Tyson was not happy about it. The question is, what are you going to do after you've been punched in the mouth? I like that one too. The universe will keep giving you lessons until you learn them. Right? And we are terrible about learning lessons. So I would suggest to you that when you've been punched in the mouth, when something has occurred that's stopping you from reaching your goal that you set, that is stopping you from being able to enact your plan, generate the revenue that you look forward to, getting the new customers you need, keeping the customers you currently have. If something has now punched you in the mouth, you've got three options. And only three. The first one is, are you going to learn why you failed? A lot of people don't want to do that. You know why? Insanity. Definition of insanity? Anybody know the definition? I know you all do. Yeah, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. That's insanity. The second one, do you need another punch in the mouth? Because obviously the first punch did not get your attention. It did not say, you're doing something you need to change. Why? You failed. You did not get to where you wanted to go. So let me see. Let me just put my bald head down and run it into the brick wall the second time. Because I'm sure this time I'll knock it down. Do you need another lesson? The last one is, are you going to quit? Because in my world, the only time you become a failure is when you decide to quit. Three things. Now, failing is not a choice. Everybody fails. It's the nature of being a human being. We are inherently flawed. The uncontrollables that are around us will dictate failure. Someone who is successful from day one to the end of their career, that's a unicorn. It doesn't happen. So the reality is, it's a choice about, not a choice about failure. But you know what is a choice? Failure. When you choose to stop trying, when you choose to go back to your comfort zone, that place where you don't feel any fear or threats, and decide not to start to be something different, not to look at yourself and make some decisions about how you are responsible for what happened. Because we do love to blame other people for our failures. By the way, when you're successful, you claim all the credit, right? You can say, well, you know, it was my team. What you're really saying is, look at me, look at me. I'm the one that made sure that this happened. But when we fail, we decide we need to assign that failure to someone else. As long as you continue to do that, you cannot overcome the failure. So failing is choosing when you encounter a setback, reaching a worthwhile goal. By the way, if your goals are not worthwhile, if they are not meaningful to you, you will not commit to them. And if you don't commit to your goals, you will not do what is necessary to reach those goals. So if you haven't set goals at this point, I would suggest you do for the rest of the year, both professionally and personally. Why? They will guide you towards whatever you define as success. Without that, good luck. Maybe you'll get there, maybe you won't. But I guarantee you, odds are you won't. And when you stop believing you can achieve a worthwhile goal and decide not to leave your comfort zone, you will stop trying. That's when you are a failure. If you don't want another punch in the mouth, and you don't want to be a quitter, here are the 6 steps for you to take so that you can become successful even when you fail and fail and fail. 1, overcome the negative emotions that accompany failing. Failing makes us feel bad, doesn't it? Of course it does. We put forth effort, maybe not enough, maybe a lot. Regardless, something happened that caused us to not succeed. And we're embarrassed by it. We're sad about it. We may even be angry. We have to get over those things, because as long as we continue to look at failure that way or failing that way, we're not going to learn the lesson. We will avoid learning the lesson. By the way, I'm always interested in people who gamble. You ever met anybody who's ever lost money at the boats? I haven't. You know what they tell me about? How much money they earned. I know that that boat did not stay in business because people were winners. The boat stays in business because people are losers. That's how they make their money. But no one wants to tell you, I went to the boat and I lost it all. They tell you about the 10% of their winnings versus the 90% of their losses. So recognize that you've got to overcome the fear of failure, of failing. The second thing, view failing as an opportunity to learn and improve. Now, I hate to say what everybody hates to hear. Embrace it. If you do not embrace it, if you keep it at arm's length, I guarantee you, you will not learn the lesson. If you do not learn the lesson, the universe is going to teach it to you one more time. The third thing, take responsibility. If in fact you contributed to the failing, accept it. It happens. The best of good intentions often go wrong because the situation changes on us. We thought we knew what we should do to get to the goal, and we did it. But the situation changed. And because the situation changed, it didn't work. Be okay with that. Accept the fact that you contributed to the failing and that you are now going to do the reflection. If you do not reflect on what went wrong and why it went wrong, why you did not get to the goal as you anticipated, I guarantee you will not learn the lesson. Reflection is difficult. We have to be willing to accept that we have flaws, that we make mistakes. Once we're able to do that, though, and we see them, we can correct them. And the whole point about this is to be able to change how we do what we're doing to get to success, the goals that we've set. Ask for feedback about why the plan failed. Even worse, I actually have to ask someone else to tell me or give me the gift of truth about why we didn't make it. Once again, that's a very difficult conversation to have, but I guarantee you that you may see how things went one way through your filter. It's always good to get a different perspective from someone else who you trust and respect, that engaged in the same process and now has information that's valuable to you. Information that you can use to help you learn the lesson and change how you go forward with your plan to get to your goal from this point forward. Without that information, it's very difficult to learn the lesson. And last, develop an action plan for success that takes what you learned and put it together so that you change the course to get to your success, to get to your goal. And in front of you is the reflection sheets. I put that together for people who are in my coaching process because every leader, and they are leaders, they encounter failure. They fail. And in our conversations as a coach, as a performance coach, we need to have the conversations about these 6 things that I've already described. Once we've done that, we're now ready. What are we ready for? Resilience. Fall down 7 times, stand up 8. That is really the definition of success. It's when you don't get back up and continue to try that you are a failure. By the way, I find it so interesting because, let me ask the question. Does anyone know what January 12th is? It's got a name. January 12th is Quitter's Day. On January the 12th, 80% of all people who made New Year's resolutions quit. Quit. And by the way, the gyms know this, don't they? The gyms absolutely know that that crowd that came in the door for 11 days, 80% of them are not getting up on the 12th day to go to the gym. Why? The gym's closed. Oh, no, the gym's not closed, the gym's open. You know why? Because they woke up on day 11 and said, this is too hard. Now, I'm going to give them some credit that they may not deserve, because I think that's sunk balls. First, I believe that if you set a New Year's resolution, you meant it. It wasn't a joke. For some reason, on January the 1st, you said, I need to set a resolution about improving either myself, my life, my company. I need to do that because I realize I have a reason to do that. I want to get better. I want to be more successful. I want to succeed. And you set a goal. So you're committed to that goal. No one forced you to do it. You did. You did it on January the 1st. But on January the 11th, you realized, wait a minute, I'm actually going to have to work at getting to this goal. And that's hard because I have to get up and I have to put on my gym clothes and I have to actually go do the work rather than lay in bed and hope that somehow I'm going to get fit, that I'm going to lose weight, that I'm going to get stronger. 80% quit. You see, this is the statistic you need to know about why, if you follow this program, you will be successful. Because even though you're knocked down 7 times, you're going to be the person within that 20% that gets up 8. And if you do that, and you do that throughout the year, focus on learning from failure, you will be successful. It's so easy? No, it's not easy. None of this is easy. I can tell you it's hard, but it requires consistency and persistence and focus and dedication and some willpower and discipline. But if you want to be successful, and I believe that everybody sitting in this room today has made the decision, because you wouldn't be here otherwise, you want to be successful. You're not going to be able to avoid failing, but you can avoid failure. That's your choice. Make the right. Thank you.